Season of giving. Stewart Welch joins us now with some pointers on how you can do it and be smart about tax planning at the same time. Good morning.
Good morning, Sarah.
Well, let's jump right into it because people want to give. This is the time of season where people are really open to giving.
Well, and Birmingham's a great giving community. So the first, talk about three things: cash, clothing, and appreciated stocks.
Okay.
Start with cash. So
All right.
cash is like the easy thing. People either write a check, and when they write it, here's what's important to know. When you write a check and you're going to mail it, it must be postmarked by December 31 in order to get the deduction this year. Now, my preference is to use a credit card. So when you use a credit card, the reason is you get these reward points. And so I like getting those reward points. And the main thing with a credit card is that transaction has to occur by December 31st.
So cash, postmarked by December 31st. Credit cards, if you use that giving has to be, the transaction has to happen before December 31st.
That's exactly right. And the other thing that's important to know is if it's more than $250, you need to be certain you get a confirmation from the charity, and then you keep that with your tax record along with the evidence of having made the gift. So that'd be a canceled check or your credit card statement in case you get audited.
In case you get audited. Always think about that. All right, clothing is an easy way to give.
Clothing is really an easy way to give. Here's my rule. You go through your closet, and if you hadn't worn it in 2 years, give it away.
Declutter.
Declutter. It's a great way to, you feel pretty good after doing it, and you certainly help a lot of people that could use clothing. And the important thing here is you have to set the value. So you make a detailed list, you have to set the value. That may be hard to do. Go on the internet. There are sites that'll just give you valuations for donated clothing, and you can use that. It
might be something that you cherish at one time, but it may not be worth that much
If you hadn't worn it in 2 years, just give it away. Give it up.
Yeah, the IRS has guidelines, right?
They do have guidelines, and they're pretty strict on that, so you probably want to use a guideline, and there's a lot of them off the internet.
Okay, giving stocks and bonds. Why is this a good
Stocks
idea?
have been on a tear for really the last 3 or 4 years, so I've got stocks that have gone way up. My intention is to give appreciated stocks. When I do that, two things happen. The first thing is I get a deduction for the full value of that gift, and then secondly, I give away the tax problem, that capital gains. If I love the stock, which most of the stocks I own I do, I'm going to turn around and use cash to buy those back, and when I do, I get a new higher tax basis. And one last little footnote there is, like, what I like to do is give it to a donor advised fund. That way I don't have to worry about exactly where the money's going to go. I get it to a donor advised fund like the Community Foundation of Greater Birmingham, and I get the deduction for doing that, and then I can decide at my leisure where I'm going to send those checks to charities.
And quickly, with the few moments we have left, when is it a good idea to give away cars or jewelry or something of value like that?
Well, it's when you're ready to give it away. The important thing there is you're going to get a tax deduction for the lesser of what you paid for at the cost basis or the market value. With a car, typically it's gone down in value, so that's pretty good. If something's gone up in value like that, that's probably not a great gift.
Okay. Jewelry, we're talking about primarily.
Jewelry, if you have jewelry, a lot of times jewelry has gone up in value. That may not be your best, that may not be the best way to give.
All right, if you want to get a good tax deduction.
Yeah, if you want to get the maximum benefit.
All right, so they can get more information from you, right?
Anytime.
All right, thank you so much,
Thanks,
Stewart
Sarah.
Welch, always.